Next up for us, 1 p.m. Eastern, Arizona Cardinals, 1-7, 0-4 on the road at the Cleveland Browns, 4-3, 3-1 at home at Cleveland Browns Stadium, Cleveland, Ohio, 54 Fahrenheit, chance of showers, 13-mile-per-hour winds. Get into the line history here for this one. This total sitting at 37.5. It opened up at 39.5. We have a 2-point drop at Pinnacle. That's a big one with a low total. Then we have Cleveland sitting at -7.5. I wonder, this is probably the most likely survivor pick for a lot of us here on the board. Let's take a look at the cash flow for this spot. Here we go. And I imagine that this will be the number one spot for survivor picks. You have 14% of the tickets and 49% of the cash on the Arizona Cardinals. Then you have 91% of the tickets and 99% of the cash on the under, and it's dropped 2 points. Arizona comes in off their fifth straight loss, 31-24 setback at home to Baltimore. I used Arizona in the contest, and I was fortunate to get there. I mean, onside kick recovery. I was afraid to bet them, so I just stayed off, but I used them in the Cappers contest here at Pub. Dobbs was 25-37 for 208 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He ran 6 times for 26 yards and lost a fumble. Fumbled in 5 straight, and now he is gone. Jettisoned to the Minnesota Vikings. It was announced after the game that 5th-round pick Clayton Tune, 2023 draft pick out of Houston, will be starting. Kyler Murray returned to practice this week for the first time since tearing an ACL last season, but they say he won't start until week 10. And that is what everybody expects at this point. Against the Ravens, McBride led the way with 10 catches for 95 yards and touchdown, and Demercado looked good. Ran 20 times for 78 yards. The offense is missing James Conner and Zach Ertz badly, especially the red zone offense. The defense was pretty good. I know that they allowed Baltimore to go 4-4 in the red zone, but they held Baltimore to 268 yards. They're just, bad in the red zone. And they did get pressure on Lamar Jackson. They sacked him 4 times and hit him 6 times. The Browns coming off a tough 24-20 loss to Seattle. P.J. Walker, 15-31 for 248 yards, touchdown, 2 picks. He also ran 6 times for 27 yards and lost a fumble. And we have Deshaun dealing with residual swelling. So that's week to week. And, if it's at this point, it's a rotator cuff injury and it's just week to week. They say it's unlikely that it's longer than 2 weeks. They put up 385 yards and 23 first downs. Amari Cooper's having a great season. 6 more catches for 89 yards, doing it with, pretty weak quarterback play. Njoku caught 4 for 77. Kareem Hunt had his best game of the season, ran 14 times for 55 yards and touchdown, caught a 12-yard pass. So with Kareem Hunt, Pierre Strong, and Jerome Ford, they combined for 33 carries for 133 yards. That allows them to hold on to the ball, dictate the game. They held on the ball for 36 minutes and 40 seconds. The defense, though, wasn't able to get the pressure that we're accustomed to. And on NFL Pub, Birdie made a point of hitting this defense. And there's a couple defenses in the league that we thought were going to be really good. And now I don't know what's going on. This defense got gashed for 6.7 yards per carry by the Seahawks. 1 sack and 3 quarterback hits. The Browns this year are 28th in the league in red zone defense. They allow touchdowns on 66.7% of their drives. All of this has become just what I just wasn't expecting it. I just wasn't expecting there to be so weak at times defensively. Take it away for us here, Troy. Cardinals, Browns in Ohio.
So take it for what it's worth, because I'm back in the Browns in this spot. It's easy to me. I cannot envision a situation where the Cardinals win this game. I think it's a perfect bounce back spot for P.J. Walker against this Cardinals defense, which PFF has graded out as 31st in the NFL. The best grade on their defense in all the positional groups is their pass rush, which is 29th. They're 30th in run defense, 31st in coverage, 30th in third down defense. I see the Browns having success on the ground and through the air. Be it P.J. Walker, pretty much whenever I just look at a Browns game, I'm pretty much, these are the worst quarterbacks in the league. No matter who you're going to get, I have them graded as one of the worst quarterbacks in the league, and I'm still back in the Browns in this spot. The Cardinals haven't proven that they could win or be very competitive on the road. Like I said earlier, I have the Browns and Dolphins teaser. I expect to be on the Browns in more than one way, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do. Hopefully we could talk some things out and I could pair more things with the Browns. And if Kyler Murray is ruled in for this game, I'll take it straight. Murray's announced in, and this line comes down to 7 or 7.5, I'll take the spread just like I did with the Lions. Kyler in his first game back versus a piss-off Browns defense and a team off a loss on a road in a hostile environment where Kyler Murray's been significantly worse on the road in his career. Let's just pray he's in so I get the Browns around the 7 or maybe even under a 7. But when you have a home team with a spread of higher than 4, like I talked about the 3 or lower than a 3 around a field goal earlier, and the low totals, well, if it's -4 or higher and the total's under 40, home teams are 6-4 ATS, 10-1 straight up, and undefeated on the teaser. 10-1 on the teaser. But if the spread is over a touchdown, undefeated ATS, undefeated on the money line, undefeated on the teaser. So I really like the Browns to get the job done.
I don't know why they wouldn't have, if they knew that they were about to jettison Dobbs, why they wouldn't let Clayton Tune start at home. I just don't understand why they didn't give them the Ravens game. You want to send them to Cleveland here for your first start? I mean, you're setting them up just to get eaten alive. What are your thoughts on this Browns defense? Because it is perplexing. 28th in the league red zone defense, allowed the Seahawks just to gash them on the ground. Can you give me your feeling on this? Do you expect it to improve? Where do you rank them? Take it away.
I have this defense right now as 4th overall. I think that they play a very volatile style of defense where they know they're not getting much offensive production, so they try to overcompensate or, have good defense turn into their offense. And I think that's very clear. They continue to get gashed with their pass rush. The two edge, Zadarius Smith and Myles Garrett get so far up the field on their pass rush on running plays that they're just create really wide holes to run through. But at the same time, if you get them behind the sticks, you get a 2nd, 3rd, and long. It's right where they want you. They'll put their hair back and go get after the quarterback, force turnovers. That's at least what I see. Because how could you continue to rush your edge rushers up the field and you're just getting gashed on the ground? To me, it just tells me they're waiting for that one chance that it's play action, it's a different play, and they could create a huge, massive, game-changing turnover.
That makes sense. And Sky Dragon saying Cleveland defense is elite. Well, at this point, I'm only using the Browns in my survivor. I don't know how much more I want than this. I don't want to expect Clayton Tune to be any worse at quarterback than what we've seen so far this year for the Cardinals. I don't know if that's the situation. And you have the Browns tied together with the Dolphins. Is that right? In your teaser, Dolphins?
Yep, that's correct.
Dolphins plus 8.5. And what was the Browns number you got?
I got -1.5 on the Browns.
So Troy's teaser, Dolphins plus 8.5, starts early Sunday in Frankfurt, and Browns -1.5. Let's roll on.